Hi dudes, today I will be going through my makeup step by step, the makeup tutorial that you have all been requesting. That is what the second channel is for, so I hope you are all very excited. Let's do it. Okay, first I need to get my bangs out of my face. I don't wear a headband or anything because I have a cowlick in the middle of my bangs, so they want to be center parted anyway, and I have a big ass forehead, so I have to keep them straight down. And the last thing I need is a headband to push them and encourage them to go to the side. I have to, every morning, if I don't wash my hair that day, I have to just wet my bangs and blow dry my bangs like psh, 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 until they finally decide like, okay, fine, I'll stay in the middle. It is very annoying, and it's like really hard to have bangs in this climate and in this economy, but nevertheless, we persevere. And for that reason, I'm not about to put a headband on, because by the time I'm done with my makeup, my bangs will be, you know, to the side of my head and they won't be bangs anymore. And unfortunately, I am a hair makeup outfit girl, so I can't do my hair after my makeup because it's just not in my DNA. My hair takes the longest, so I like to have that done before I do my makeup, because it gives me like, okay, how long do I have to do my makeup? Like, do I get to take my time and whatever with my makeup, or do I have to kind of rush? And I can rush my makeup. I can't really rush my hair very much, so that's why I do it first. I also like to get it over with because it does take longer, so. Whereas my makeup I have more fun doing. Anyway, quit yapping, I'll get into it. I will say, because I don't wear a headband or anything, I do find myself just... And before you guys suggest it, I do have those little clips that are supposed to like not indent your hair or anything. They just do indent my hair. I have to just kind of let my hair do what it wants. I don't love a primer. I'm not a primer person. The only thing that's like primer adjacent is when I do my skincare in the morning, like after a shower, I will put my sunscreen on, and that is kind of primer-esque because it's pretty like moisturizing. So because of that, I feel like that's kind of giving primer, but I'll link everything in my Amazon storefront. I don't know what that sunscreen's called off the top of my head, but I know it's Eucerin. Anyway, so I start with foundation, and I go in with either, it depends on what my day is. If it's a casual everyday day, I do the NYX Bear With Me. Oh god, I have to do the influencer thing. Sorry. There it is. It's the NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh Multitasking Spray, but it's a primer and a setting spray. I use it to spray my sponge. I use the disposable ones because instead of like a beauty blender, because I just feel like it's more hygienic, and I know myself, I'm not gonna wash a beauty blender every day, and I also will need, for my own peace of mind, to wash it every day in order to use it. You know what I mean? Sorry if I sound out of breath. I feel like I'm giving out of breath right now, but anyway. Okay, so I just kind of spray it into the room so that it doesn't get on my desk, because I do my makeup at my like desk in my office. So just give like 2 or 3 spritzes depending on how we're feeling. Oh, but also what I was about to get into is that I use the NYX one for like every day. It's big, it's pretty inexpensive, but if I'm going to go somewhere, like if I'm gonna go out or something like that for the night, or like on my wedding day, like that's very 2 different things. But if I'm doing something where it's like I need this makeup to stay, it is like very crucial for it to stay, I use the Urban Decay, oh my god, what is it called? Hold on. My makeup's right there. All-nighter. I have the little one because I am pretty precious with it, but the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Again, everything's linked. I can't link stuff on this channel yet because I'm not monetized on this channel yet, so I can't like link it under the video, but I'll link it in my Amazon storefront. If you guys want it. I'm not trying to like shill stuff to you. But the Urban Decay All-Nighter is completely goated for every skin type, and it is, oh, let me fucking put it away. This is already really chaotic, and I'm not really a chaotic person. And I'm not also into those like, get ready with me, but I'm so chaotic and crazy, and they're just like trying too hard to be like funny the whole time. I hope I'm not giving that. I just am trying to remember everything I want to say, because I hate gatekeeping. So I always want to make sure I'm like saying what I want to say about, and like why I do things and what everything is that I'm using and why I use it. So for that reason, I feel like I'm word vomiting. But anyway, the Bear With Me by NYX is for dry skin and dry skin only. If you don't have dry skin, this is not going to be your friend. It's really a dry skin girl thing, I feel like. that made it sound like I'm gatekeeping it for dry skin girls, but I feel like I already have been talking so much that I've dried my sponge out. But I just think if you have combination or oily skin, it probably is just too moist for you. Whereas as a really dry skin girl, it's my like dream because it's really, really moisturizing. I actually got it because I was going to Vegas, and I'm a big Vegas fan, and when I was going to Vegas, it was gonna be so fucking dry. I put it in a little travel container, and like throughout the day was misting my face because my face felt like I had a face mask on that needed to come off. Like, it was that dry. Anyway, once I spray my sponge, I just do 1 pump per cheek effectively. Face cheek, not butt cheek. And then I'm gonna look down because that's where my actual mirror is, so sorry. And then when, everybody knows this, but forgive me for mansplaining it, but when you're picking a primer, just make sure it's the same base as your makeup is. So if your foundation is water-based, like mine is, I use the NARS, what is this called? NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. That one's water-based, so I use the NYX Bear With Me or the I actually don't know if the Urban Decay one is water-based, but it's just a setting spray, so it doesn't really matter because it's not like gonna cause splotchiness or anything like that. Also, I'm sorry if I sniffle because I have allergies right now really bad. I don't know why. Went to Target earlier today, so I don't know if there was like a cat in the Target or something. Everybody always used to say that. They're like, make sure it's water-based, make sure it's silicone-based if you use whatever. Like, people used to say that all the time. And I was like, yeah, that's fine and good. How the fuck do you know? You just go to the ingredients. I have since found out, because Google's free. But I have since found out you go to the ingredients list and then you just look, hold on. You go to the ingredients list on the product, and in the first like bundle of ingredients, if none of them end in cone, like C-O-N-E, it's likely a water base, especially like if H2O is listed and nothing with cone is listed, it's likely a water base. Whereas if a lot of things that end in cone are listed, then it's likely a silicone base. So that's how you know. So if this was a silicone based primer, or this was silicone based, like if they were opposite of each other, what I would see is a lot of splotching, and I've had that happen. Like my old foundation I was using for a minute was, I just did another pump. I do like 1 pump, 1 pump, 1 pump. And then I bring this down to my nose and then like chin and kind of any extra areas. If it was mismatched, you see a lot of splotching and it like lifts the product up instead of settling it in. And it's very frustrating, especially if you don't know why it's happening. It's actually infuriating on a level that is indescribable. But maybe that's just me because I have anger issues. Look at my fucking hair. Are you joking? Hey guys. Okay. See, that's why I don't fuck with the headbands. I just hold it back. I also go over my eyebrows only because I have microblading that I absolutely hate that I cover. I essentially block it with like concealer or highlight or whatever. So because I'm covering it anyway, I just try to kind of give it one layer of covering it up. I'm like in the process of getting it removed. It's a whole story. I actually, not to like leave you guys on a cliffhanger with that, but only because I've filmed half of a video for this channel already, and I go into detail about the whole story with that. I will leave that story for that video because I don't want to repeat myself. It's honestly such a bitch of a story. I didn't get my concealer, so let's grab that. I don't even know why I wear concealer because I end up I'm getting hiccups from the Red Bull. Real ones know that I can't burp. So if I drink anything carbonated or anything, even like light carbonation like Red Bull, I get hiccups and then I might croak. Sorry if I croak. Sorry in advance. This may be my second channel, but I am not Danny and I cannot partake in a LaCroix, unfortunately. I gave it another spray just to dampen it so it blends out well, but I did croak. Did you hear that? I gave it another little spray so that it will blend out better, but I do kind of like a heavy-handed blot just on that area. Oh, I also think I hiccuped and interrupted myself, but basically what I was saying is I don't even know why I put concealer on, because I end up taking my eyeshadow down so far to look dead anyway that it's like, what's the point? But I will say there was one day that I had that realization. So that night I was going somewhere and it wasn't like a big deal. I was like going to my in-laws house where I was like, oh, I'm putting makeup on, but I don't really like, it's not a fashion show, like it's not that serious. So I just experimented and did no concealer and did my eyeshadow like how I usually do. And I felt so weird. And I was like, okay, the reason I do the concealer is because I have pretty hollow under eyes. It's not like to cover darkness. And I think that's what threw me, is I was covering the hollowness, or what I cover in my concealer, with my concealer. God damn. You guys can imagine how editing my videos is. Like, this one's gonna be way less edited, but you can imagine how many, like, retakes I have to do, because I just can't talk without fucking my words up. But yeah, I felt really off, because I just feel like I have such a gaunt face, unfortunately. It's fine, I like my face. I'm not trying to talk shit on my face, but I just feel like I give Skeletor if I don't fucking have concealer under my eyes. I don't feel like I have a lot of life. Like, it makes me look older than I am. I already feel like I kind of have that face where I don't have any, like, cheek fat. I used to work, speaking of cheek fat, hold on, let me take a sip for this one. This is crazy. I used to work, didn't give that enough time to go down. God, I love Red Bull. Red Bull sponsor me. I love you. I used to work at, God damn. I used to work at effectively a, like, med spa, like, where people can go get, Botox, fillers, etc. I'm not trying to, like, dox the place, so I'm trying to, like, pick my words carefully. But I used to work at one of those types of places in LA. I loved it. I loved 99.9% of my coworkers. There was just, like, a few things that were weird, obviously, as with any job, but I did love it. And, we would get, like, basically, as a benefit, for lack of a better word, like, an allowance of stuff you could get done for the year. Like, it was like you're allotted to that. For me, at least at the time, you were allotted like $2,000 of services from the spa, med spa, that year as part of your, like, benefits for working there. It was goated. Like, that's a goated deal. As you can probably tell by my face, like, I love Botox and fillers. I'm no shame with it whatsoever. I have lip filler and I have Botox. My Botox probably worn off. Yeah, you can see. My Botox wears off really fast. Unfortunately, my face just, like, eats it, but I'm no stranger to a lip filler. I love a lip filler. At the time, I had not had anything done yet. I was pretty young. I think it was like early 20s. I'm gonna have to just link this contour because I just got it. It's like a random Amazon find. Oh, come on. Get the fucking... Interrupting really quick to just say I should continue my makeup, but I'm gonna have to link this. It's just a random Amazon find that I really recently got because I need like a more gray contour because I'm just so cool toned and I like kind of more of like a spooky look anyway. So it'll be on my Amazon storefront because I got it on Amazon. But anyway, when I started at this job, I was super excited to find out that that was one of the perks because I wanted lip filler for the longest time, but I just couldn't afford it. I was really, really young. I want to say like 22, maybe 23, but I'm thinking about what year of my life it was, and I think I was 22, but anyway, it doesn't matter. 22, 23. And at one point we got like a new manager and we were just like chatting about like, oh, what, because like when you work at a place like that, everybody's very open, for at least in my experience, everybody's very open about like what work they want to get done or like what they would fix about themselves. But it's not really, in my experience, again, not really in a toxic way. It's in like a, I love the way that like this looks, like this thing that people do. I love the way this looks. It's more of like appreciation for the craft almost, if that makes sense. This probably sounds crazy to a lot of people, but that's just how it is. So I was talking about like the only thing I want to spend my like benefits on effectively is lip filler, because I'm so young, I don't need Botox yet, this is what I'm saying at the time, and I just have such small lips, I just really want to like slowly build them up to the size I want. I had really thin lips before, and that looks great on a lot of people, I just didn't like it for my face. So I was telling her that, because $2,000 might sound like a lot, but $2,000 at a med spa does not go a long way. It is about, I think, 3.5 maybe, no, probably 3 lip filler sessions. You know, like, it doesn't go a long way, which very grateful to my past employer for providing that to us. That's like a really goated thing to do, because they still have to pay for the product. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in Plum. I'm allergic to plums. I got this because I used to use the NARS blush in Sin, and they stopped fucking selling it. Like, it would last me for years, so I went to rebuy it like really recently, and it was gone. And everybody online was talking about how they discontinued it, and like, fuck us cool toned girls, like, it sucks. And yeah, they discontinued it, so that's what I'm using. Of course, I'll link it, blah blah blah. I will link everything I can. If it's not linked, it's because it's not on Amazon, so sorry. But I'll put it in the description. Anyway, so I was telling this new manager, who I've just met, by the way, about that, and how I wanted to, well, that's a nice color, and how I wanted to just do my lips, and whatever. And she goes, are you sure you don't want to get cheek filler? You have like a very gaunt face. Like, your cheeks really could use some filler. And I was like, oh. I think I actually went, oh, like, I actually gagged in real life, because I'm not really one to not say what I want to say. Like, I'm a pretty blunt person, and I'm not great about holding my tongue, so I think I was like, ew, excuse you, like, wasn't asking. Crazy to just be like, oh, my opinion about your face is that it's worse off than you think. Especially at the ripe age of like 22. Wild. So that was crazy. That's my whole story. Very long-winded way of explaining why that made me think of that. But I did not end up ever getting cheek filler, because I feel like it would change my face, and I like the way my face looks, other than the fact that I wanted a little more lips. Okay, going for highlight. This is ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in Pearlized. Moon Peach or Pearlized? It's showing both, so who knows. But this is the one thing I do with my finger, because their Super Shock Cheek highlighters, if you haven't used them, are like cream powders. Like, they're like somewhere in between, so you kind of have to just like dab it in. I don't really like to use my hands for makeup, personally. No shade to people who do. I just don't like the way it usually like works in, and I am pretty like big on sensory issues, so don't typically like to touch things that I don't have to touch. But this was one of the ones that you kind of have to touch. I'm not precious about where I put it. It's just like top of the Neapolitan, that is the contour. Like, very top of the cheekbone. And then I put a teeny bit, usually on my chin, just to like even my face out and make it look more dewy since I'm so dry. And then I put maybe top of the lip, and then tip of the nose, and then I bring it down my nose sometimes. And then, I think I already did this, but down the brow. And I dab. God, Red Bull is making me really hiccupy. This is where it starts to get a little wild, because God, these lashes. I've been on a journey of trying not to get my lashes done, even like since a little before I started my YouTube, because one of my best friends does lashes and she does a fucking phenomenal job, but I was just trying to save money. And I was like, okay, I'll just start doing my own, like, you know, little clusters or whatever. And so every once in a while I try like different ones, and these are really cute. I like the way they look, but because they're fluffy, they have like different like vertical like arrangements, if that makes sense, as opposed to just being like sitting like this. And so they don't really like stay in one place, whereas these other lashes I have, they do stay in one place, and it's a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, this is a little highlight stick. It's e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. Come on, give us a shade. Girl, I'll link it. I'm gonna have to use this little mirror. Okay, so I'm basically covering like half of my brow I'll go like this actually so you can see this side. It doesn't cover it perfectly, but it does enough to kind of get the point across. And I'm so fucking exhausted from this whole fucking brow journey. It's been a whole shit show. So the easiest thing for me to do is just use a shadow stick that's like really pigmented. A lot of times I use the ColourPop one in like it's like a matte white one, but it's also just straight up white, so it's like a lot. But this isn't really giving. It's not like covering it as much as it should. Okay, let's try both and see how it looks. This is just so low. Like the brow is so low and so thick. It needs to be like this high up, and this all needs to be chopped off. Like it's so ugly. Stay tuned for my next video if you want to hear the story about the brows. I might mix it a tiny bit with like this white one. I don't know what that's gonna do. This is my first time using this one, so I wasn't sure how to feel about it. Yeah, it's not giving. I'm using that one for the first time because I just ran out of this ColourPop one that I was using, and it was actually a gel liner, one of their cream gel liners in Calabasas, but it's out of stock everywhere. I can't fucking find it. So I can't replace it, and like all of the things I keep trying to get to replace it are not the same like pigmentation or color or shade or whatever, but certainly not the end of the world. I'm gonna try and mix in the ColourPop one. Yeah, this is a lot more pigmented. Okay, she's covering. This is the ColourPop shadow stick in Cult Girl. I have no choice but to kind of blend this down, obviously, because it's so like white. So if you guys ever wonder why I do such a white highlight under my brow, it's because I'm covering my brow and that's the only option. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's fine, it's good enough. This is like where I become at with it because it's just frustrating. Blend it down a tiny bit with a brush. I'm gonna do a little white on my inner corner. Good lord. The fuck was that? At least my fucking bangs cover it for the most part. My brows, I mean. And let me grab a highlight that I like to use to kind of make it a warmer tone to blend in the rest of my... Okay, so I'm gonna use the Dior highlight in Glitter Strobe Pink Gold, which I feel like we could have used a shorter name, but they didn't ask me. And then I pat so that I don't fuck up what I've just done. Okay, and then the side that hated me today, which coincidentally is also my good side. Scary. Okay. Trust the process, guys. I'm switching to another, like a bigger highlight brush. Now, actually doing my brows. I use the Anastasia brow pomade in Ebony, and if it dries out, I just spray it with the NYX primer stuff. I know that a lot of people don't like a skinny little brow like this, and they're probably like, why are you covering up your thick brows to do a thin little skinny brow? But I like it. I think they're pretty, I think they're cute, and I like the creative freedom to be able to do like a barely there brow if I so please one day, and then a like drawn on thick brow if I want the next day. My brows barely grow in anyway, so they're fake regardless, so fuck do I need to worry about it. But also I just hate the shape of my microblading. I know a lot of you are probably going to be like, if you didn't like the shape of your microblading, why didn't you say anything when they were doing it and they showed you the shape before they tattooed it? Because she didn't follow the shape. I had microblading. I'll tell more about this in my next video, but just for the sake of people not thinking I'm a crazy bitch in this video, I had microblading done when I was a platinum blonde and I loved it. The shape was perfect. It was super cute. Had I just kept that, I would be happy and I'd be fine. But then when I dyed my hair black, I was like, oh, I'm never going back. I love my hair black. And I was like, I'll just have someone do it the same shape, but the exact same microblading, just a darker color over the top of it, which I didn't need to do, but I did it. And the girl that did the black over it she like traced basically the same shape that I had, and so I was like, yep, that's perfect. And then she just went sicko mode and did basically a completely different thing when she actually like tattooed it and went like over the lines. Basically it was like super blocky. I cried on the way home, like it was so bad. And of course when she said, do you like it? I was like, yes, I love it. And then because like what is she gonna do, take it back out of my face? When I got home, I literally tweezed like pieces of it out of my skin to try and make it look more like the shape I wanted. It was so bad. So yeah, I don't recommend getting microblading personally. It's just too hard to get removed. Okay, that's fine enough. I did that, and then I go in with black liquid eyeliner to make it more like severe. I use the e.l.f. liquid liner. For this part, I kind of just draw little hairs, kind of. It ends up blending into one big thing. I do like them really like severe. I don't want them to look natural, so hence the dark, sharp lines. And do the same thing to the other side. Okay, brows are on. Now we are doing eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. Come on. And we're gonna use the shade Fickle Fate. I like to use a really big fluffy brush to blend out eyeshadow because it's just really like blendy. Dab it in. And I'm gonna make some wild faces during this, so don't even worry about that. And obviously I have lashes on always. I do my own bottom lashes, and then I have clusters on the top, but had I not, I don't always have bottom lashes on. It's like a newer development. So when I don't have bottom lashes on, I like there's a few mascaras that I do like because I am one of those people who gets really bad smudging under their eyes unless they use like certain smudge proof mascaras. So I will show you the ones I like. I like to do like a medium brown for the like crease, and then the underneath smoking it out, and then I will do a darker brown typically for the lid, and then like the inner closer to the waterline. So for this one I'm going to use this palette. Is it taupe or taupe? I'm gonna say that's taupe because I think it's taupe, but I feel like I'm gonna sound stupid. If it's not taupe, why would they say that's why would that's taupe be a pun? That's even a stretch though. Also, like there's that OPI color Topless Beach, but it's like taupe. Anyway, I like an angled brush, but it's still fluffy. And then I am using the shade Bedrock, which is a darker brown. And I'm packing it on my lid all over. I'll blend it out in a sec. Then I get the first brush I was using, the like fluffier one, and then just blend it out. Then I do my e.l.f. liquid liner, and this is kind of weird, but bear with me here. And I will usually draw like 3 lashes on the corners of either side. They don't need to be perfect. I just like the look. It kind of looks like dollish. Sometimes I'll do a teeny tiny wing, but I don't usually. Lately I've been feeling like I still need to put mascara on my bottom lashes because the makeup gets all over them, and then they're like skin colored now. So I'm gonna put mascara on them and I'll tell you guys in the process what mascara I do use. Okay, if you get smudges around your eyes with mascara, I definitely recommend the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. She's a classic, but also she doesn't smudge, so big fan. So I am going to actually put mascara on my fake lashes, which is not super goated, but it is what it is. I think I might stop doing the bottom lashes just because my natural lashes are the same length as the fake lashes anyway. And it was more for like the thickness and convenience of not having to put mascara on and take it off and everything. But if I am having to put it on anyway and I feel like it's not like enough, I might as well just stop using it. It's just nice to have bottom lashes be like dark and dramatic when I am not wearing makeup because I have blonde lashes, so, but it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm gonna stop doing them because it's also annoying to have to keep redoing them and they are sometimes giving me a little bit of allergies, so. Okay, I'm gonna do lips and we'll be done. This lip gloss is one I've worn in a video before. I think I wore it in the Am I the Asshole My Girlfriend Doesn't Shower or whatever video, and this is the Half Magic Drip Glitter Lip Gloss in Problem Child. So here she is. And of course, if she's on Amazon, I will link her as well. This is one of those ones where you can kind of build it up, but I like a somewhere around here. I do overline a teeny bit, especially on the top, around my Cupid's bow. There she is. Final look. I will do a hair video to show you guys how I do my curls that I always do. My hair's naturally straight, and of course I wish it was naturally wavy, curly, whatever this would be considered. That's just how the cookie crumbles effectively. So yeah, I'll do a video on that at some point, but my next video is going to be something different. So keep an eye out. Don't forget to murder the subscribe button, beat the shit out of the like button, and if you're feeling crazy, you can give a little makeover to the bell. So, love you guys. I will see you very soon with another video.